begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics.
What up, what up? Happy Friday, motherfuckers. How's everybody doing? Happy as fuck after that concept call, I bet. XRP, USD, maybe. What up, what up? This is Chosen One. 87, 88. Man, we can't even start the show with as many people as show up for the concept call. How does that make sense? I don't even understand that. Now at least I know you motherfuckers are out there, right? Bunch of sneaks. Alright. So, where are we at? More peeps in the concept call, right? That don't make no sense. How did you get to the concept call and skip the show, bro? I guess they got all they needed to know out of that one phone call, huh? Or, this is just the bad habits, right? Who's coming late? So, chance favors a prepared mind. You never know what I might do in the first minute. Could be something crazy. So, for the ones of you here, you know, what's today? Friday? Did the concept call yesterday morning. I forget like what day shit is. So, I don't know. Leave a review in the chat. You know, let folks know watching the show what you learned. Not exactly the details of it, obviously. Don't be retarded. But, you know, just drop a little blurb about some things you learned, you know, some improvements, some things that changed, your perspectives, you know, do you see things more clearly, to change your confidence, you know, all that good stuff. Leave some comments in the chat for me while I get going. Let's see. Got that. Don't need that. You can close Mr. Alerts. And you... All right. How about that fucking CZ, huh? King of the world right now, this motherfucker. Is in the charts, you know. It was in the charts, this guy. So, hope you guys played this guy. This was in Only Stands inside of Discord for everybody in Trading Lounge Acolytes. So, now, like, this guy makes a hell of a lot of sense, right? Forecasting shit like this. Nothing that hard. It's actually rather simplistic, isn't it? Just a continuation of a trend wave. And, you know, if it keeps on going, it's, you know, but the fact is, it's highly unlikely you'll figure out what the end of this thing is. So, you know, forecasting and extending through here wasn't really a hard play to make. So for many of you guys that played this, you know, congrats. And hopefully this all starts to make a whole lot of sense. Think about it. Like, think about how many of my shows you watched and you really didn't take in that much of what was going on, you know. Now the shows, like, have a whole new life. I mean, do you realize... For all of you guys who went to Acolytes who are like brand new to this ecosystem, do you realize how much shit is in the last 500 streams now? It's really crazy, right? Like, the entire market has pretty much been forecasted throughout, you know, years on this show to an insane degree. Booked over 20 hours in the session and overnight after the call. Insta fucking ROI, huh? Best $50 you ever spent, motherfucker. I went from getting wrecked 2018, 2019, trading based off emotions. Today I've learned everything from knowing how to properly enter a trade, plus having confidence to manage my play without emotions. Seems like a good progression for a morning market TV show, don't you think? Why doesn't Jim Cramer have shit like this on there? It says, Jim, I've been liquidated again. That Lehman Brothers, they didn't do what you said, bro. It's like, well, I've been pounding the table on that Bear Stearns. Why don't you have some of that, you son of a bitch? No, that's, I don't even understand market TV. Well, you see that shit on cable. We need to watch everything again, especially starter blogs. Yeah, you have new eyes. You guys who are all, probably think you don't need to. You should all go back now. Now watch the starter pack. All of you dudes who did Acolyte's concept calls this week, you should all go watch the starter pack again. It'll change everything that's in that fucking thing to be a brand new set of videos. And stop asking me to add more videos to the starter pack. It's going to be a starter anthology if we don't stop sticking videos in there. It's got enough. Just the other stuff, we'll just have to get to them later. Outfit and the visuals are cool every day, motherfucker. You act like there's a day you can tell me it wasn't hot. We keep it fresh. Hopefully nobody in the audience gets a seizure. If you guys feel like you're fucking about to puke, just look away from the screen for a second. I think it's doable, right? This is not seizure level fucking flashing, is it? I think this is pretty good. What do you think? I could make it brighter. You don't want me to make it brighter. Actually, let me see something real quick. Let's see. What was I doing here? Oh, is that the max? Max it out. Okay, yeah, that's the max. All right, I can't blind you any more than it is. A bit too strong. Motherfucker, if I could crank it up some more. See if we just maintain the peace. What are you talking about? You can, feel the energy. That's what it's about. Feel my power. I don't know. I have too much fun with this shit in the morning. But, what else are you going to do? I do too much drugs. All right. So, shout out to Gano. Appreciate you, sir. See some other comments you guys had in here. Concept call is amazing. Completely changed the way I look at charts. I dig it. Call provide updates to the lens to see the show more clearly. It's amazing what you can hide in plain sight, right? So now when you really look at it, you realize the level of what's in the show. And that's the craziest thing. I'd have to actually reach into the audience and grab each person and train them to actually utilize this show. Or dumb the show down to the level of the people that Jim Cramer services. I just can't do it, So, like I said, training a smarter audience. We have the content. Now we have to bring the audience to a level they can use it. And you're in a world that nobody can really reach, People don't understand what they don't understand. And they can stare right at this now, sitting gets as crazy as fuck. And just whatever, and walk right past millions of dollars. And that's what value looks like, hidden in plain sight by people's biases about what they think they know about shit they don't, It's the best thing you've ever seen in your life. It's like a giant inside joke that just keeps on running all the time. All right, so too bright for me. Salty, stop your bitching. All right, did you guys give me scorecards? I never get scorecards. Who's got scorecards for me? You guys don't even post them since I post everything for you now. You're so lazy. Burger, Salty, did you actually pop up and do one for us? Where have you been, motherfucker? This bitch has been off fucking painting up a spree. Where is it? All right, Salty. What a nerd over here. Or laugh out loud, what a nerd. All right, what do you got? Trade to live. Okay. This is Marathon Oil. It is important to remember that we don't live to trade. We trade to live. When life gets busy, change time frames. I've been busy doing artist things. I love how art people talk. It's so funny. And so haven't been able to trade crackhead resolutions. What you trying to say, Burger? I think he's taking shots at his mom. She's in the room cracking out on fucking seconds charts. Grab this one on 5 minutes, which rotated into a higher time frame. I think we see a lot of people posting 5-second charts to 1-minute charts, and I sense a lot of FOMO from people, so I wanted to share that you can still make solid gains across weeks instead of minutes and hours. That's a really good perspective to share. Actually, I do appreciate you doing that. We aren't supposed to live to trade. Instead, we trade so that we can live the life we want instead of being forever locked into 9 to 5. As always, thanks for the intel, Kaz. This is a really important thing that he's saying. So I do train you guys on like seconds because that's the way to get the most experience the fastest and give you like on the job experience. But like there are people in the room from like age like 19 to like 60, and you definitely all shouldn't be doing the same thing. Many of you aren't in the same place in life either. So what Berger is saying is, is exactly true. You can trade at resolutions that work with like you doing other things. Some of you like see people in the room trading at like 1 minute and lower resolutions, and you're like, oh, they got 7 hours in like 10 and 30 minutes, and you're at work and you're trying to look at things through meetings and stuff. That's illogical. Like make it fit your life. Don't try to fit your life into this. So what Burger's saying is absolutely fucking true. So keep doing artist things, Burger. I mean, Salty. What the fuck, dude? You have to consolidate your names. Can we just call you Salty Burger? Burger. I like the way Dr. Fierce wrote that. Learn how to recontextualize price as it moves between resolutions, or if I arrive late to the trend. Absolutely. That's the thing that kills people. A lot of people go back and they look at markets, when they do replays, and they put it the exact price, perfect placements, where they'd like to try and like see if they could find their way in. But throw the chart in someplace random and just like wherever the fuck, completely out of line with anything that you want to do, and see if you can be patient enough to wait for it to get to a place that you can contextualize the price to then take an entry, and it's a more realistic, experience. Wow, we're struggling this morning. Is the show really at 1:13 today after that concept call? Are we just barely over the people from the concept call? Man, that's Skeleton Crew vibes on a Friday. They just hung in there just long to get the goods, hon, and said, "Fuck that guy." It happens. Well, I appreciate the 118 faithful that have showed up anyways to listen to this nonsense on a Friday. So, all right, I won't waste your time. Let me see if I can get us over to something more interesting. So that is Burgers Junk. Not exactly, but you know what I mean. Let's see, where's my chart setups? Okay. Where are we at? It is 8:42. Wow, we're ahead of schedule. All right, 1 second. All I can tell you is like if you go to Spanish class once and you don't stay practicing the language, it's not going to take. And a lot of folks think that like they see the secret formula and they run out the door, but repetition is key, participation is key. Those things are really literal. And it's a differential between those who participate the most over time that end up with the habits entrenched like second nature versus the folks that are like kind of grasping with practical application things. One thing I can tell you is like price unfolding in real time with your emotions and biases at the forefront creates like almost like an optical illusion. It makes it super difficult to maintain context of up or down, and it feels like as soon as you have conviction, the price is exactly the opposite of what you believe. It is really ridiculously difficult to stay in the objective mindset to kind of always have the binary vision of what it could be from that point that you arrive at, and not just like a perfect spot where you want it to be to say, okay, out of a bullflag I would do this. No, you could wake up right here and the Dow Jones and the market is pumping right now, and opening bell, the fucking market's a stick. You're like, okay, well this is a gap now. So much for my amazing plans at 6 o'clock in the fucking morning I had, because I did, and this thing went crazy now while I'm in the show, so fuck me. I'm gonna have to figure out what the fuck to do with this nonsense when the opening bell happens, and it's not gonna be in the perfect place. And how to be an objective mindset and not have FOMO that I missed this fucking insane move I totally knew was gonna fucking happen right now, and fucking walk in the door objectively and say, okay, 200 points are gone, now what? And be able to fucking deal with that. It takes a lot to stay there and do that every day. What are you speaking Spanish? All right, so without further ado, let's take a look at some macro stuff, and I'm gonna get you guys into your Friday. Gave you guys some goodies this morning. Nebula peeps, Trading Lounge peeps. Good basket to probably cash into next week if this chart persists. So again, looking at this like the big picture down wave from November in the S&P. And we're tracking this low resolution uptrend again, just like the one from summer. We're tracking the same angle. We're tracking this one, right? We rotated angles we talked about before. Come down to res. Oh my God, what the fuck? Okay. All right, we had talked about this whole angle rotation. He could rotate, and if he didn't, he would go up another wave. So he's made a high. So you've got, you know, an uptrend happening and along this angle right now. And this is kind of our crossroad, right? The down wave from the whole of the year and this low up wave that's a dead cat right now off of lows. So with this, we talked about the Dow being the stronger guy. So he's probably worth checking how far along he is, right? Never did his down wave here, bounced up really high. He's approaching the last high to make the low. So technically, all of these guys are still in a downtrend until they eclipse the last high that put in their lows. The Dow is just the strongest one in the bounce. The Nas, the weakest one in the bounce, right? And if anybody watches the IWM, Russell, like also dog shit, right? The Russell actually looks much more bear flaggy. We never really pulled this guy up too much. He was worth keeping track of, huh? So when he let go, actually, when was this? This is January. He let go before the entire market. If you look at him, you know, he's kind of like your shitcoins of stocks. He's full of the more risky guys. So he'll tend to, you know, break down. See with the S&P was sitting up here at all-time highs while he was going off a cliff. And once he broke down, that was pretty much Armageddon was next for everybody. So right now, he's, like I said, he's like the shitcoins of this world. And we see this his got a pretty well-defined, you know, what is the low resolution uptrend we just talked about. Looks like at this resolution, you know, a very clear-cut bear flag and very far off of eclipsing this high. So if the Dow ends up tagging as high and this all rolls again, this would be very bearish in you know, stock shitcoin land to rotate. So that's what our danger is right now with the bounce that we have. So the SPY, again, back in that, right? That's that bear flag, but for right now, that rotation of trend into a larger uptrend is still fitting into what could be a bear flag in a macro downtrend. All right, everybody got all that? I'm sure that made total sense. Great. All right, next. DXY things. Paying attention to that drop. That drop is part of the bounce that we've got. That's not the DXY chart we want, though. Is this him? So this down wave we talked about, this is downtrend. He gas pedaled yesterday off a cliff. So that downtrend is still intact, and that allowed for, like we said, the euro move that we've shown you here was possible, right? Popped up to here. Now we're watching him structure out some nonsense against this high and see if he gets through this to keep going, and the dollar move keeps happening. If that's the case, then the dollar, you probably look at him like a little lower res. And it doesn't look like too much there, you know. This is a good level to trigger, so you want to see if he holds it or not. GBP, USD, these guys all, you know, pushed up right now to the ends of what could be a bear flag. But, right, this is still, like we said, a bear flag is still a low resolution uptrend, right? Can it get bigger? It totally can. So you have to be mentally flexible, right? This is a scenario. It doesn't have to do it. If he maintains just this trend here and he extends the high, I would have to, like, you know, draw an angle to capture this higher trajectory. So that right now, he's not done that yet. But if he manages to break higher out of this, he would have a new trend angle going straight up and probably pushing this bear flag or low resolution uptrend much, much further. So the DXY is kind of in focus now, worth watching, because he's going to be tied to probably more risk on in the stock market. SPX 500, you know, we use him for something clean. So that bull flag really is in direct opposition of the DXY bear flag at the moment. The VIX with this has got his own bear flag as he tracks this angle backwards, and we're trying to see if he doesn't bounce off Stevie D's monolith kill level and kill everybody. Then you're watching to see if he has, you know, room to come down from there. That's stupid. and this is where we are this morning. So if there's more bull push in this, going Friday, possibly into Monday, this is the resolution. We at least have bull action. Not more than that. The bigger danger is rotation of this down angle. So for now, we're enjoying this risk on pump. Let's see. So that's that. Euro stocks. Let's check USDT. So this guy, right? We have a specific risk scenario inside of crypto with what's happened with Sam and FTX, and what is definitely a fucking contagion problem. I didn't see it live near the show, but I think somebody had pointed out in the chat that Genesis had halted in that in the chat while I was on stream, and that the Winkle dorks are having a problem and all that stuff. So like, this is probably going to go further than people want it to go, but it looks like everybody, like Luna, everyone got themselves mixed into this this problem, and it's going to take a second to figure out who's fucking where, and it's definitely going to get a regulatory response pretty shortly. So crypto's got its own issues right now. While the stock market's having a reasonable bounce, most of crypto is not really enjoying that. All right, he's just sitting on dead lows. So since then, this is definitely a position of caution. Like we said, a structure like this, a flag like this, you see what this looks like? It's pretty good. So you don't want to see this let go again, a leg down while it's cooking right now, and the market's kind of like, okay, I don't think anything's happening. The market's getting complacent. That's what time corrections do. Once this moves from this position, you want to be very, very, very attentive as to what it does. Total is probably going to reflect this, right? Like I said, if this stays really this strong, this high over here, and rotates up, that's not going to be a good thing in crypto. That being said, ETH BTC, I don't think we have anything on this guy. Oh yeah, remember this range we projected from a while ago? For him to flag in? I guess he's doing that, right? He's still watching these large res BTC ratios like BNB. ETH BTC is lagging what's happening in BNB, but there's definitely a lot of guys that, like, in the cross markets of crypto look pretty interesting when you're not totally tunnel vision into what's happening in the dollar market. Also watching this guy. I think we had him on a show. God knows what exchange I did the fucking TA on. God. Tell me I did on Polo. Yeah, I did on Polo. Right. OG coin. This guy having, a little bit of relative strength is kind of like worrisome. You don't generally see XMR have any real strength when there's good risk on in crypto. So he's kind of like, more of a warning that, like, there seems to be some like safety risk, in which XMR is a hiding place, which is a risk off sign if he keeps on being strong at all. So you do want to see things like ETH and those guys be the leaders, and right now that's not the case, but you're still waiting to see if that shockwave cooks, and if ETH BTC can get moving again, that would be a bullish sign for crypto overall. All right, I think that's like everything you need for a Friday. What do you think? Guys, get all that? OPEX today also could be a bit more volatile. Thanks for the heads up. Markets are closed on Thanksgiving next Thursday. So short week next week. Market closes early at 1 p.m. So definitely pay attention to that. Like, volatility could come out of the market pretty good on the Wednesday. So any real good movements we're going to have left in stocks probably, Monday, Tuesday. So keep that in mind. It's a short week next week. And then after holidays, it can be kind of thin. So between Thanksgiving and Christmas is not really the greatest time periods, in the market. And behind Christmas is definitely awful. So cool. Appreciate that. So I got through macro pretty fucking early. It is 8:53. You guys got some symbols for me? 140 viewers. What a bunch of slackers. Some late folks. Not that many late folks. Also, Black Friday market sale. That'll be important for retail sector. Retail has been fucking horrific. So if retail manages to get any life, it's going to be probably off of what happens with Black Friday numbers. Hey, remember this one in retail I told you guys to pay attention to? Macy's. Remember? We had this guy on the show. We even gave you a wave for this guy. Here you go. Pretty decent, but yeah. That's American retail right there, baby. Nike, Deere, DAX, MRO. Alright, I do want to start with the DAX. This is like really overlooked stuff. We have a crew of guys now trading European times now, 3 a.m. My time, New York time. And so very cool. These guys have been playing, the strength that's actually going on overseas. Right now, the DAX and the CAC have actually been, better performance than the S&P 500. They perform more in line with like the Dow Jones. And so they've been really good price action over here with the German and French markets both pumping pretty well. So remember we talked about this last time. So this is our forecast way back whenever we last looked at it. He went down a little deeper in 2B the low, but appears to be still fulfilling this. The German DAX was a little stronger in his rotation out. And right now, this is a pretty tight flag that kind of looks like, let's see, we'll use US 30. So that's the Dow Jones right now. Trying to use stuff that doesn't have any like level stuff on it. That's the SPX. Whenever the hell we did this, what is this? I never know where I draw things. So, drew that whole thing. Angle, rotation, possible bull flag. This was a way back whenever we drew this. I can't remember doing this. I don't know what I was doing. What is that? Huh. No idea what those numbers mean now. I can't remember that shit. 794. What? No idea. It's probably something important. I'll figure it out later. But anyways, so S&P 500. Let's see. We'll go on 4 hours. So that's what the S&P 500 looks like now. The German DAX. All right, he's stronger, and like I said, he's more in line with the Dow. Your only concern right now is like the congestion of running through this high, how it gets through it. That's definitely in trend. It's definitely been a hell of a ripper, and this gas bar, it makes you kind of think it could be fatigued. You're going to a Friday, and so if you're finishing on the highs of the week, there's probably not a lot of room on just day trade wise. Like this is probably a little sus running into the weekend with this kind of congestion here. I would say that your big line in the sand, probably the shockwave right here. And he can trade into this range if you're day trading this thing. But never call tops. You can always measure a risk, and if it extends this out, so be it. Right now, a lot of people are not catching the industrial rotation at all. Right? We talked about this. Oops, fuck that up. As long as this trend wave is intact, right, the strength's really inside the market. Not a lot of people are fucking looking at it at all, right? Somebody asked for Deere. And exactly, these guys look ridiculous. Nobody's looking at this stuff. Look at fucking McDonald's, motherfucker. Whoever bets against these guys is crazy. Motherfuckers love some goddamn salty fries. I could actually go for some of those fucking hash browns right now. I'm fucking dying this morning. But yeah, check this out. This thing's crazy. You guys want, hey, if McDee's want to throw me some fucking some free advertising credits and shit. No, I'm playing. But yeah, this thing looks ridiculously bullish, right? There's a lot of stuff that's just on this. Oh, that's a terrible color. What's up? Structurally, these guys look great. So Deere is one of those. Deere on lower reses. I mean, he's pushing out pretty strong. He's gapping up right now. I told you to watch this level. It's a good trigger level for him. Prices will get him a little smaller. So yeah, that's like he's gonna gap above this. If the market's strong today, like pre-market we're running. So if we stay like on the opening and stay strong and pushing that low range I showed you in the DAX, it'd probably be reflected in these guys. And they, dick rules on the opening even with some of these guys if you're just gonna play in the intraday. But yeah, this guy's pretty extended on any resolution down here. So you kind of got to be careful playing into a wave this late if you're not part of like let's see. It's not a bad estimation of how much more range he's got, and then you take the high of where we're looking at the dick, cock and balls, right? And we look at where the high of him is, and it's a pretty good projection to like going to right to this top. So it's probably like about the range of motion you've got for the day. But overall, this is a good area for him to clear. That on a bigger res, if he gives you another good structure to plan off of, you probably can pay attention to this guy to get the fuck out of here. So as long as we keep industrial strength and we don't go through a massive de-risking again. So good trigger area and good spot for him to be at. Where'd it go? Nike and MRO. I just did Macy's. Cool. Nike. Nike we talked about here. Drew the angle down on him. I think just recently you guys had asked me about this. And then the little bubble. It's like, looking for something about the resolution of these shockwaves when he rotated out. Did the range of like how long, his durations have been between fucking pumping from last cycles to the next cycle's pump. And he's fairly consistent, about 900 plus days and stuff like that in the last 3. So right now he's rotating pretty much on time of like where we drew the forecast out on this guy. Is just an approximation around what he's doing here, 940 by 917, about the middle of that, and he's rotating his angle about then. So if there's more, industrial push, retail is not really in the best place right now. But let's see how retail sales, retail numbers come after Black Friday. These guys are down pretty deep. The market is pretty fucking bearish right now. So this is not the worst setup you have. Like I said, this stuff I think looks better. I think like transports and stuff like these guys are kind of interesting. There's a lot more things out there that are moving. Of course, we talked about defense. These guys are retarded looking. All that good stuff. MRO, DRV, XRP, MRO. What was it? DRV? DRV. What is this? Direction daily real estate bear 3x. So, So this is the kind of thing you gotta make a short run play on. If you sit in it, it'll fucking butcher you. So this guy pumps if the market fucking gets crushed, and he's getting smacked right now on the. So let's see, it's October 12th. So he's getting smacked on the squeeze, right? DRV. I got it. So October 12th here, October 13th, SPY. Flat down there, right? That's DRV. So he's like an inverse relationship with the stock market. So he's like a triple X leverage short. And he's got, if it's real estate, whatever it is correlated to the S&P 500. So if the S&P dumps, this guy would be what you'd play for some extra gas. Yeah, I guess this guy is a bull flag. That's an inverse relationship to the stock market. If he pumps, the market's dumping. So that would be a way to kind of watch the contra pictures. Like if this actually goes bull mode, that's a bad thing for stocks. Probably have to read that guy down on the tea leaves, but that's the risk that stocks get fucking nailed. If he can keep pushing, but he rotates down through that and this keeps extending, the market keeps pushing. So this would be your little inflection point right here to pay attention to if he does anything right here. If he goes up and then does this, market's gas. So that guy would pretty much be something you could kind of complement watching indexes with, and he'd give you a kind of a read also. He'd confirm, the net direction. All right, so MRO. Cool, whatever the fuck that is. That was one of the scenarios whenever, I guess we're back here, we drew the scenarios on what he could do from here. So he's tracked out to the high and then a counter structure and another rotation. Like energy's been fucking crazy. Some sides stronger than others, right? So not all sides of it right now are where your eyes should be. Some guys are like, definitely more bull than others in dirty energy. So MRO right now is kind of cooking under highs. And pretty much this is the path that, if he took this trajectory, then this is what was expected. So if he follows this, he should bull flag out and then rotate and give you a shot to fuck with him, probably going through the highs. All right. Did I get them all? Did y'all not see the MRO? Oh yeah, I got the screen. The DRV, right? Y'all saw DRV or what? Alright, right on. So XRP USDT is the last one. XRP USDT. Alright, that's not the XRP I did. XRP. Can I have one up here? Damn. God knows which one I did. XRP with. I know I've got this thing somewhere. I'm not doing it. There it goes. Sweet. Finex. God damn. Alright. So, last time we ever had this dude on here. It's been a while. Let's see. So, really cool harmonic range back here. That was really good for this massive pump. This guy does have his moments. Yeah, I think you want, like, between this high and this high that he did this harmonic, I think you went, like, just how he recoiled right here, I don't think you fuck with him in this zone. I think you let him rotate up through this high. And on this leg, if the market turns bullish and crypto has any strength to him, that's going to be where you get really good gas. If this guy comes in and rotates that angle. So I wouldn't try to like catch the bottom of it. Let him come through this. If it's coming through here, he'll probably do some insane fucking gas pedal move off of it like he did in this structure right over here. That's what you'd be looking for over here. Something to like fucking launch box off of this thing. Alright, that is it. At a decent time, 9:06. I won't even stretch it to 9:20. It's Friday. It's a light day in the audience. I'm thinking people are taking a break. It's holidays actually coming, so maybe some people are already traveling for Thanksgiving. That could be possible. So if you guys had a good week, you know, some of you who went to concept calls, I know it's a bit of a brain melt to get that much info. Definitely practice your art, you know, go back in time, do some replays. Remember when you do replays, right? Context of price means something. That means your replays have to have context too. If you just arbitrarily go back and pick an energy stock like 10 years ago, energy might not have been the thing. And you're going to have really poor price integrity. And you're going to think that you don't know what you're doing if you pick an asset that's not the best of breed or the worst of breed, depending if you're long or shorting. So when you go back in time and you work on like historic prices, a good way to make sure that you apply the logic correctly is to make sure that you have context of asset. And know that like I'm going to go back, you know, 3 years ago and try to look at like September in tech, and tech was a good idea. Otherwise, you can fool yourself that you don't know what you're doing because, you know, underperforming asset will knock you out more often. And that's something that fucks a lot of people up. Sometimes they really do have a really great, you know, trading setup. And the lack of perspective to contextualize the asset plus the time frames will fool you, and your biases then will take you away from, you know, from getting closer to that valuable, like, you know, setup. So understand, like, you know, all things matter, perspective matters, and you have to have context of, you know, more than one dimension of assets to truly apply this stuff and really practice it. So you guys work together inside of Trading Lounge. Trust me, there's lots of veterans in there that benefit from helping you, and it goes both ways. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We will get back to some live trading calls probably next week. I'm a little burnt from those things, as you can imagine, so I will catch up with you guys on Monday. All right? Catch you on the flip. Peace out.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to jump. Welcome